We live in a world ruled by tyranny, where knowledge is suppressed and ignorance is glorified. A world where propaganda and misinformation travel the airways at the speed of lies. But in the midst of the violence and chaos, a great awakening is taking place. And as the media empires continue to collapse, a new network is forming. A network of truth, a network of courage, a network of awareness. Peace and greetings. You are now tuned into the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, where we examine current events, politics, health, finance, and topics of cultural relevance in America and throughout the world, while bringing you insightful interviews with guests that will both educate and inspire you. And now, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, ORRA the Informationalist.
All right. Peace and greetings, people. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. And I am your host, ORRA the Informationalist. And for this Most High Monday episode, for those tuning in, I'm going to basically break down what a good depiction of a movie. And I'm going to give you some commentary in regards to the title of the show, which the topic of discussion for this episode is called The Lust for Consumption and Validation. And what we're going to discuss is the movie called The Joneses. It's a film that I've been wanting to do my commentary on for a long time because it came out in 2009. It stars Demi Moore, David Duchovny, Amber Heard, who, if you see Amber Heard in this movie, she don't look nothing how she looked on trial just a couple months ago. But I'm going to go over the lust for consumption and validation because this movie's a great depiction of that. It's going to cover a lot of the desire to basically want to be noticed, want to be acknowledged, and also consumption. And what this movie is all about is stealth marketing. Now, for those that don't know what stealth marketing is, it's undercover marketing is a marketing strategy which assists companies to market their product in a hidden way. This doesn't allow the consumer to realize that the play is a marketing strategy. Using unconventional tactics, the product is marketed and advertised in a less obvious manner. Now, in this movie, they're going to show you actually specific stealth marketing representatives that usually are actors, and how when they move into certain affluent communities that have a certain income range, which we're going to go into in the movie. I'm going to break down only a few segments throughout the movie to shed light on this, because this movie is a great depiction of the lust for consumption and the lust for validation that people have, especially in the United States of America, where everything is about status, everything is about image. And this movie is going to give you a great education on that. I'm going to give you the breakdowns throughout the movie, and also just to give you an idea of, just to kind of basically get you to understand what we're going to be covering here for this episode is we're going to look up the word consumption. And consumption is the consumption is using of goods and services in an economy, or the amount of goods and services used. And then we also have validation, which is recognition or affirmation that a person or their feelings or opinions are valid and worthwhile. Now, as you know, I talk a lot about narcissism. So a lot of narcissistic people are always, and I mean always, seeking validation. It's like a drug for them. And unfortunately, because of the popularity and the way social media has completely taken over, we have to be very careful of this, because there's a lot of narcissism that is social media is the breeding ground for it. So a lot of our young children are starting to become narcissistic, not just because of childhood trauma, but based on the traumas that they're experiencing by having interaction with other kids on social media. So cyberbullying and all these other things. And it's really becoming a problem. And what this movie is going to show you is how far people will go to gain validation, to gain recognition, and also to really engage in the spirit, which I think is a wicked spirit. Some people may disagree with me, but that wicked spirit of competition. And this movie is going to show you that. We're also going to go into jealousy, envy, and many other things. But the basis of this episode today is going to show you that this can lead people down a very dark path and lead them to self-destruction or to ruin financially, to where it's even done it. Like a lot of people that you see on Skid Row that are living in those tents, believe it or not, were making anywhere from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year, believe it or not. And there's many of them scattered throughout those neighborhoods. So let's get into it. We're going to start it off with the introduction to the movie, which is called The Joneses. And if you haven't watched it, I would suggest take a look at it. But always look at these movies with your spiritual eyes, because that's really what's important when watching these films. Because Satan is always showing us the lie. We just have to be aware to really see the lie. And in this stealth marketing, it's all a lie. It's all manipulation. A lot of marketing, if not damn near all of it, and I'm telling you this from experience because I have over 17 years in the marketing field of industry. And I've done advertising, I've done health insurance, life insurance, supplemental. I've been a public relations official. I'm very well versed in marketing. And one of the reasons why I left is not only because I wasn't serving my purpose to the Most High and I was just making money, but I also left because I don't like the process of manipulation that you have to go through in order to get sales. And it's just not in my spirit to do that, even though I was doing it. And a lot of times it was forced upon me if I was going to make money. It was like a do or die situation. But towards the end of my career, and why I originally had stopped right before COVID hit, or when it actually hit in January of 2020 is when I actually gave it up. The Most High revealed to me, is like, you got to learn what you had to learn from this, but it's time to move on and really serve the way you were always meant to serve, as a messenger, and not pretty much half-assed anymore. So that's what I did. I don't have any regrets. And when I see films like this, it just makes me realize how marketing as a whole, the manipulation behind it, I personally just can't wait till it's all over. Because I'm going to tell you something, people, from my own personal opinion, just society overall throughout the world, the society of consumption and malls and stores and all this other nonsense, it has to come to an end, because this is not the way we should be living as spiritual beings, having a physical experience here on earth. It really isn't. And at the end of the day, our consumption is only leaving a very small group of people wealthy that are reaping the benefits. And I can't wait for that day to end. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's start the movie up. And this is called The Joneses. And let me get it on my screen right here, and we'll get it popping.
thing rides smooth.
It's very nice.
Yes. It's like riding on the ass of an angel. I mean, I wish I could have sold a crossover like this. I would have been able to keep them in stock.
I'm gonna race you to the other side. The wind brings some more ride.
Did you know that there are 5,000 teenagers here between 15 and 18? There's 4 high schools, 3 private schools. Oh, nice. And the average income's over $100,000.
Okay, so as you heard, she's basically giving them a rundown of the average income of the family household in the neighborhood that they're going into. And the average income is $100,000. So you see how he's blowing the whistle, basically like he knows that they're going to be able to get a lot of people that can afford to buy a lot of the products that they're going to be doing their stuff marketing in. All right. So that's all I wanted to say, because this whole entire stuff marketing process is very, very strategic, people. Extremely strategic.
I'm gonna bet you that there's more to this.
So as you can see, they got the movie company coming in.
How many courses?
3 private, 1 public.
Looks like I'll be getting my swing back.
I promise you
We are going to do some damage in this town. What do you think, kids? Huh?
I'm gonna put you on the righteous path.
Now, as you can see, brothers and sisters, look at these houses. So this is how it looks in a neighborhood where the average income is over $100,000. And there's neighborhoods like this all across the United States, within every single state, whether it be here in Florida. You got places like where I used to live, Sarasota, of course, places in Miami, all across the West Coast here in Florida, Punta Gorda, places out in Georgia, Virginia, New York, right? You got Westchester County, New York is one of the highest incomes in the country, let alone in the world. So there's a lot of affluent places, and affluent being that they just make a lot of money. And these are prime locations for these stuff marketing companies to pretty much hit up as hard as they can.
I'm gonna get you clean and I'll be back and I'll let you go. And I'll let you go. And I'll let you go. And I'll let you go.
And we're home.
I think this looks good.
Okay, I got it.
Come on.
Oh, Santa. Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Quick.
Okay, I'll get a video.
Okay, let's get in.
Oh, hey, sir. Do you mind helping us out?
Sure.
I want to get a quick video.
No problem.
Real simple. Here's a viewfinder. Hit the button, then I can send the video to my grandma.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Is this new? What is this?
Yeah, it's the new HTC.
All right.
So as you can see, the son, or the one that's playing like the son, he's already going into work. Like, he's basically making nice with the neighbor, asking for a favor. And immediately the guy's like, hey, this is a nice phone. And he's telling him what model it is and planting that subliminal seed to where now that guy's going to be like, that's a cool phone, and might take a look into purchasing it.
That's great.
All right.
Okay, everybody smile.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Bye, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Incredibly powerful sales, constantly climbing the ladder.
Now, this woman is the neighbor that lives next door. What's interesting about this woman is a great depiction of a lot of different types of people that are in the network marketing industry, in sales, and a lot of times, and I've seen this firsthand, where you'll have people that are in sales and they're not really doing it for the money, believe it or not. A lot of people, they get into these types of sales industries, they're doing it for the validation. They're doing it for the prestige of being recognized by the peers, being recognized by men and women as being successful. And you're going to always hear me say on the Network of Awareness that there's nothing wrong with being successful and there's nothing wrong with having success, but it's not everything. If anything, it should not even be a priority for you, because as men and women, as men and women of the Most High, our priority should be being a worthy person, being a person of worth in the eyes of the Most High, being a person of value to your brothers and sisters, being a person of worth. That's something that I'm really honing down on. I've always been a person of charity, and my actions speak louder than my words when it comes to that. And I'm going to stick to that. That's one of the gifts that the Most High has definitely favored me with. And it's very important that we understand that chasing success for validation is only going to lead you to emptiness at the end of the day, because that's the happiness that you're seeking for yourself that's always going to elude you, opposed to the happiness that you should seek for your other brothers and sisters that you will find within yourself. And the Most High in Christ taught us that through his walk and his example. Let's continue.
Success.
I'm an incredibly powerful salesperson, constantly climbing the ladder of success.
An incredibly powerful salesperson.
Put your shoes on, Larry.
And she's doing the self-affirmations, listening to the DVDs or the audios. This is something I did in my mid to late 20s. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's not something I'm doing anymore. All right, let's continue.
Come on, Larry, we've got to go welcome those new neighbors right now.
Don't you think we should at least let the people settle in?
I will never become an Omega Strata Robustion Cosmetic Associate waiting for people to settle in. Please, Poop.
Incredibly powerful salesperson.
Climbing the ladder of success.
Look at her practicing her intro speech. Little did she know she's about to get got by some very advanced stealth marketers.
Neighbors! Hello!
Lights, camera, action.
We're the Simonses from next door. I'm Summer, and this is my husband, Larry.
Hey, neighbors.
I just wanted to bring you this welcome gift of various samples from the new Robustion Aphrodite line of beauty products. But I'm sure you're in no mood for guests.
No, don't be silly. Come in. I'm Steve Jones.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Larry Simons. Pleased to meet you.
Come on in.
This is Jen and Mick, and I'm Kate.
Hello.
I'm Mick. Hey, nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
You too.
Do you have kids? Because they should come over and meet Mick and Jen.
No, actually, we don't. I wasn't there.
I know that with a big move in conjunction with a woman's naturally fluctuating hormones, it can leave your skin a wreck. But you'll find that the Aphrodite line of beauty products can really give you a glow.
Well, I bet. Look at you. You're a vision of beauty.
And you see how he gave her a compliment. And this, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this goes on all the time with people here in America. Is it happening around the world? Absolutely. But especially here in America. America is the capital of consumption. And little does this lady know that these people, especially when it comes to her husband, are going to send them down a path that they're going to wind up losing themselves. All right. So we're going to continue. And then, of course, I'm going to go to some other clips. I'm not going to play the whole entire movie. So why don't we do that right now? Because, they're just going to show them real quick around the house and welcome them with open arms. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually, brothers and sisters, I'm going to go to a portion of the film. And let me pull it up here because I have it all. So I'm going to 3:36 in the film, and which I believe we've passed that. So let me go to 10:32. Now, this is going to be an interesting part of the film. Now, this part of the film is where you're going to see Demi Moore, the wife, really start to work her future clientele or the clientele for the companies that they represent. Now, the name of the company that they represent is called Life Image. That's the corporation that they work for that basically gets all these products. So now what we're going to do is going to see her start planting the seeds to establish relationships that can further along help her to progress in getting more sales for these different companies that hired them to get their products out and to get the people to buy them. So she's going to this beauty salon, and you're going to see this gay man who's very well known throughout the community. And she's going to establish a really good relationship with him. And this is the beginning processes of it.
Are you Kate?
Okay, give me 1 second. I forgot to put it on here. All right, here we go.
Yes. So sorry about the wait. You know how it is when the mouth starts going, there goes the whole day. I'm Belay. Welcome to my salon. You're not from around here, are you? I just saw that YSL bag come down the runway on style.com, and I know you didn't get that around here.
We just moved here yesterday.
So how on earth did you find me?
And see, like he's already noticing a pocketbook handbag that she has that is very rare. Nobody has it out there. And this is what these stuff marketing companies do. They bring all the best product lines that are just coming out or haven't even come out yet, and they give it for these people to put on display. So immediately, him being, a gay man into fashion, like most of them are, he's noticing this very expensive handbag. And she's taking notice. She's taking notes right now, mental notes.
Well, I do my research, and anyone who's anyone knows you're the best.
Isn't that the truth? And there isn't anyone who's anyone that I don't know.
Boom. Jackpot.
So, what are we going to do today?
I'm a mess from the move. I think I need an overhaul.
Sugar, if this is a mess, then I want whatever you're taking.
Now you're going to see the husband. He's starting to plant seeds with golfers. And as many of you may or may not know, any golf club you go to, they say that's where you can set up some of the best deals and get some of the best sales in marketing when it comes to the golf club, because most men that go to the golf club are very wealthy men and women as well. So if you can establish relationships at a golf club, you can really do some major networking as far as, acquiring a very high value worth of clientele. So let's see how David Duchovny, who plays Mr. Jones, goes about it.
That'll play. Nothing wrong with that.
Clean living.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Thank you. Have you seen these new MP52 irons?
Boom.
What do I have?
They have a lower, deeper center of gravity, so they're more forgiving. Yes, and if they'll forgive me, they'll forgive anyone.
Very nice.
Excuse me.
Hey, baby.
Hi, baby. How's your game?
My game's great. How's your game?
Fantastic. I was just missing you.
Bye-bye, Kate. It was great meeting you.
You too, Sylvia. I'll see you tomorrow for that hot yoga class.
And as you can see, she's making friends like he's going to tell her. So she's already, with this connect that she's made with the beauty salon owner, she's golden right now, because he's just going to keep plugging her in. And it's called the ripple effect, which they'll describe in the movie. And basically what the ripple effect in marketing is, you find those cheerleaders, what they call them, or what you used to call them in corporate America. You call them your cheerleaders. These are the people that are going to sell for you without you having to do anything, just off of word of mouth, because they hold so much credibility with other people that they are the trusted authority. So if they say, hey, you got to see this person, or you got to get this product and this, people are going to trust in them and go get it. It's something we used to do in the insurance industry. We would find certain customers that were really passionate about the product, but more importantly, they were more passionate about the relationship that they would establish with you. And if they liked you, they were going to tell everybody and their mother that they need to get insurance from you. And that's how you would be able to have and start that ripple effect, to where now you're getting into the zone of working smarter opposed to working harder. Let's continue.
You're making some new friends.
Well, I'm trying.
That's hot.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, the phone's great, but I was talking about the husband.
Yeah, well, he's pretty yummy too.
Hello.
Don't come home too tired.
Oh.
Bye. Love you.
I love you.
Planting seeds.
Luckiest bitch.
I know.
You know what?
And by the way, they do this throughout the whole movie, or at least most of it, where they give this image like they're the perfect couple. So right there, people are starting to envy them, not just by what they got, but also the dynamic of their relationship as well. But of course, it's all fake, but they don't know that.
You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to have a special lunch to introduce you to my ladies.
I would love that.
You got it?
Hello.
How'd it go today?
Very well.
Did you make friends?
Okay, so she's just doing a debriefing with him. And, I'm not going to go into that, but I'll come back that so far what you've seen is they're planting the seeds, right? You haven't even seen what the kids are able to do yet in the schools, because they're both in high school. But what they're doing is they're just planting that seed to start generating income through the marketing of the products that they're just going to be, showing off. And that's what this stuff marketing these actors do. It's all about showing off in the best way possible, because a lot of people here in the United States, they always want to one up each other. It's the level of competition is very great here, where people are so shallow, so egotistical, and so image and status driven that they will do anything. Some even sell their souls for that status and image, right? That's what a lot of these celebrities do. They come from very humble beginnings. They come from a lot of poverty, especially these rappers, from all different parts of the country. Some lived in the projects, some lived in some of the worst neighborhoods ever. So once they get that certain prestige, they're willing to do anything to get that money, to get that prestige, that recognition, and that validation from the general public. So we're going to skip that portion and we're going to move on up to 1722. But I want to make sure before I do that I'm not skipping anything that's important here. So we're going to continue. Oh yeah, we're not going to have to see none of this. So let's go to 1722 here. And now what you're going to see is David Duchovny. He's, let me put it back up here. What you're about to witness is now he's about to go and start planting some more seeds so that he can really establish relationships within the country golf club. So as you can see here, he's looking at different, clothes that he has. He has a whole booklet. So he's going to, choose the proper attire to go to the golf club and really start marketing himself and eventually establishing these relationships so that, he can eventually invite these people to his house and, golf with different men in the club and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at this. And you're going to see everybody in the family doing their thing.
Hi, I'm Steve Jones. You can call me Steve. Or Mr. Jones. Steve's fine.
No broken soul. Some say love is a splendid thing. Ain't nobody gonna clip my wing, gonna clip my wing. I'm singing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Till I turn you around, I'll set the world on fire. I'm gonna break it all down, gonna break it all down. I don't know, up from down, ain't nobody gonna push me around, gonna push me around.
Now, as one thing I wanted to mention, brothers and sisters, is that as you can see here, so far, what you're seeing is the type of influence that they have just by sporting their goods, just by showing off what they got. Like you saw her when she was walking, the women that are walking, seeing her apparel, seeing her footwear. You got the lady going to the store to buy it. You got the husband bringing men around the neighborhood to his house to see his big golf game machine that he has in his living room. You also have, what was the other thing? Oh, the hair salon. So like I had mentioned, the man at the hair salon, he's basically got all of those products that she gave him right there for everybody to see in the front rack. So that thing is going to go out like wildfire because they're going to promote it for not necessarily her. She's making it look like she's doing him a favor, which in actuality she kind of is because she's bringing him more sales that he's going to get some type of commission off. But unbeknownst to him, he doesn't realize why she's doing it. So this is that lust for consumption that people have, but also is tied in to the lust for validation as well. So the two go hand in hand. And this is really huge in places like Los Angeles and New York City. They say that Los Angeles is the narcissism capital of the world, you know, because that's where Hollywood is. So let's continue on with the movie. And before we do that, let me make sure that I put it on the big screen again for you brothers and sisters. And here we go.
Bye.
Now, by the way, for the people who are listening to this podcast, the audio is gonna obviously be available on all distribution platforms, but the actual video and audio of this presentation is gonna be available on my ORRA, the Informationalist Network of Awareness YouTube channel. So I will have the YouTube channel link in the description box for those that want to see the actual video footage of this, opposed to just listening to the audio. And this next scene that you're going to see, the lady that's about to enter the home that's coming out of this limo, she's kind of like one of the high corporate executives that is like your director of sales. So she's the one that kind of shows them their progress, where they're at, how they can improve, what products are coming out, what kind of goals they're setting, and all of that. So pay close attention to how everything is monitored, and even amongst the cell, because that's what they're considered. They're considered the cell unit, being the two children and the father and the mother. There's competition amongst them as well. And you're going to see that David Duchovny, being a rookie in this industry, he's actually thinks he's doing well until he sees how the other family members of the unit are doing.
All right, then. I'm sure you're all eager to hear your results from our first month of sales. Let's start with Steve. Total sales in his first month, up 3.5%.
Booyah! All right.
Here are a few highlights. Sporting goods, 4% increase. Watches, up 2%. Golf-related merchandise, 3%.
Nice.
Okay, Mick. Overall sales up 16%.
Yes.
Video games up 13.
Whoa.
Sportswear's up 21.
Cool.
Excellent way to open up the market, Mick.
Good work. And Jen, up 14% overall. Solid work, my dear.
Hey, still too down.
Kate, Congratulations on being our top producer.
Thank you.
Up 20%.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Cosmetics up 24. Great form. Are you focused?
Am I focused? Yeah, I'm focused.
You know, you were a great car salesman. People trusted you and they liked you. So they bought what you were selling. But you're not selling things anymore. To succeed here, you can't just sell things. You're here to sell a lifestyle.
There you go. And that's what this movie's about. And that's the whole purpose of this show, people, is that you have a lot of people here in the United Shenanigans of America all trying to sell an image, a lifestyle. And that's what they're doing. And a lot of people are coveting this type of lifestyle, this supposed American dream. And really, to the core of it, people, it's all just a big lie. And I'm so grateful that the Most High is revealing this now, ever since 2020, when people had some time to actually think and actually decompress from the hustle bustle life and start realizing what actually truly matters in life. And all of this material consumption and material gain and having really big houses and all that, it's not what's going to make you happy. It's not going to fill you with the light of righteousness that the Most High provides. And that's why having a spiritual foundation is more important now than it's ever been. Because at the end of the day, this is all spiritual warfare. And we can't be overly consumed into acquiring material things, because then we're just going to leave us empty. So like she told him, you're selling a lifestyle.
An attitude. If people want you, they'll want what you've got.
Facts. Okay, so she's just going to tell her that, hey, I'm gonna give you 60 days, but if this guy don't work out, we're going to have to get rid of him because this type of selling is not working. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take you to another portion of the movie, and we're going to go about just a little over a half an hour into the film. So let me do that right now. And it's going to be very interesting at this part, because this is when it gets really interesting. Oh, actually, I don't want to skip over this. I don't want to skip over this part right here, because this is a pretty interesting part as well. And this is just how they take advantage of any particular situation. This is how sales is when you're in sales. Any little opening, any little thing you can possibly do to gain an advantage, you're going to do it. So let's take a look at this. And here we go.
Hey.
Hey.
So we need to step it up. So I've decided that we're going to throw a party.
Jesus, look at Larry. He's a miserable bastard.
My guess is they sleep in separate bedrooms.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
This is...
Now, you heard what she said. She said, my take is they sleep in separate bedrooms. You'd be surprised, brothers and sisters, how many couples in these types of environments are like that, where they haven't had sex in a long time, very unhappy, both got secret lives, don't want to leave each other out of fear of being alone. I mean, these types of dynamics are very, very consistent throughout American culture, and I'm pretty sure around other places around the world. And shout out to all the brothers and sisters that listen to this show around the country or around the world that are not in the United States of America. But this is really Western civilization at its best. And he's looking at this man as like a good prospect. He's looking at him like a layup. And what layups are, what we used to call layups, are basically the easy people to basically manipulate or convince to buy something from you. The people that are usually very naive or very agreeable, people that usually can't say no. And the better you are with that tongue, the easier it is to get these people to buy from you, not just once, but on a repetitive, continuous basis. So let's continue and watch what he does. He's going to get an idea from her, actually.
Serious, and I'd really like you to focus, okay? I mean, we really need to pull out all the stops. I'd like to put our contact list to good use and start to showcase all we've got. It's a good time for me to wear the YSL dress. I'd really like to roll out the Van Cleef earrings. If you have some of those Costume National that had a chance suits that...
Thank you.
I really have some things that I'd like to talk to you. So there's some things that I want...
Hey, Larry.
Come on. Hey, Poop Patrol here.
Nice. Mind if I ask you a question? Think Kate will like these? Cha-cha. Bling.
Yeah, I think so. What's the occasion?
No occasion.
Oh, jeez, Summer would love those.
Yeah. Well, business is good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, terrific. Absolutely.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah, I guess so. You going to play today?
Oh, no, I kind of pulled a muscle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, Kate and I are into this new tantric sex thing. I don't know how I got into, but it,
Kind of went too far.
Yeah.
Well, I sure.
And see, and now he's going to get them to open up. They're becoming friends. Obviously, he's not having no sex. There is no tantric sex at all. But the fact that he brings it up, now he's going to kind of open up to him. And now he's going to show him, the gift or whatever like he is. And it's going to tell him what the secret is and all that. And that's going to be interesting. And then we'll go to the next part. So let's take a listen.
I sure haven't pulled any muscles lately.
No? You know how I keep it fresh between Kate and me?
Good listening?
No. It's about me never really believing that I have her. Being full of surprises and a steady stream of gifts.
Straight lies. Now, this is going to be very interesting, people. Pay close attention because this is really the meat and potatoes of the movie right here, this particular scene, because this scene you're about to see is pretty much them inviting the entire neighborhood, probably other people that they've networked with outside the neighborhood in the community that are all coming to their house for this big party. And this big party is basically for them to show off everything they got from food, clothes, the house, the decor, the kids, their toys. I mean, you name it, everything is being advertised in this party to be consumed later on.
Great to see you.
So she's working the room.
I think you're going to love it. How are you ladies? Are you enjoying that palm-tini? Yeah. Good, yeah? Well, we'll just make sure we'll keep them coming. Cheers. Oh, great.
This vodka is either from Mexico or Antarctica.
How are you guys tonight?
Hello.
Well, those earrings are gorgeous.
Thank you. Steve surprised me.
Oh, what was the occasion?
It was a Tuesday gift.
Tuesday gift.
Just for being Tuesday.
Oh my.
That's so romantic.
Makes me want to.
Now you see that she said just for being Tuesday. And this is that level of manipulation I was talking about. And of course, they find that to be so romantic. But this is that shallowness. This is that emptiness. This is the types of conversations that are had in these types of environments around the country that are just pointless. These are types of conversations where me personally, I stopped going to certain family members' houses because they live in neighborhoods like this and they have people around here. And me in those types of situations, it's like, I like to talk about meaningful things, and a lot of these conversations are very trivial, very egotistical. And it's like you're almost like in a sea of narcissism, and if you're a very spiritual person, to feel comfortable in this type of environment, in my opinion, is damn near impossible.
You want a cannelloni?
Oh.
These are delicious.
You like them?
Who does your catering?
Chef Robert.
No.
Really?
Excuse me.
I didn't know he was doing frozen food.
Can you believe it?
Ooh.
We had the most incredible chicken fricazzini, homemade at the Robustian Spring
I've
Gala,
got to try this
which
sushi.
was just awesome.
See how she went into her little product line that she's selling? That's that competition. That's that envy and jealousy. And sometimes it's showed very mildly, and sometimes it's overly aggressive. And sometimes it's right in the middle. Let's continue.
Now, this is one thing you won't find in your freezer.
Oh, yes, it is.
Wachuru, flash frozen sushi.
This is the view from base camp.
I can't believe you actually climbed Everest.
The Sherpas are the key, You don't want to do it without the Sherpas.
And this system's great.
Yeah, with the bundled services, you get the clearest HD picture, and all your personal media is just a click away. You can see it anytime.
You boys up to?
Best HD picture.
Are you showing off your new toys?
Guilty, yeah.
And who's your favorite toy?
You are?
All right, can I get you guys another?
Oh, no, I'm good. It's a little hot in here.
Maybe a big boy drink.
No, I'm good.
You want something?
Where were we?
You're watching the guy in the top right.
So, as you can see, she's, she went a little overboard. He caught him off guard. But that right there is to show you how deep the manipulation goes, what they're doing. They're showing off all their products, and now they're making their fake marriage look like it's a steamy, hot, very passionate and romantic marriage. And that's giving the perception to as you can see, all the men that was around it. They was like, ooh, I want that. And this is the type of stuff that goes on. Now, in this particular scene, the girl that's in this scene, the young kid, now you're going to see how it's video games and this guy that's considered the son, how he's showing off everything in his room and how all the kids are enjoying it. And then this one girl's going to notice something and make a comment to him. So let's take a look at that.
All right. Shoot him. Shoot him now. I knew this was easy.
Oh. What kind of shit did your parents do to get you that thing?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I know a guilt gift when I see one. And that one's got "I'm sorry for being a fucked up parent" written all over it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, it's interesting that she says that because I was raised by a parent like this. Not that, my mother had a lot, but she did work, she worked pretty hard to make sure that, I didn't go hungry and stuff like that. But it's interesting because when she would do, my mother was very neglectful throughout my childhood. So to make up for that neglect, a lot of times she would just buy me something, So very interesting she said that. But she was spot on to something where, and she's going to tell him right now about showing off his stuff.
I'm Naomi.
Nick.
I know. You have this whole cult following at school.
I do?
Yeah. Been here.
See, you got this whole entire cult following. Ever since he's been there for the past 2 months, showing off his stuff, everybody wants what he has and wants to be like him instead of being just comfortable in their own skin. And that's that spirit of covetousness. It's that wanting what somebody else has, and it's rampant here throughout the United States.
Been here, 2 months? Everyone's drinking your Kool-Aid?
So, why are you here? You friend of Jen's?
Yeah, right. Yeah, can't you see me with that crap?
No,
Nah.
not really.
Okay. So now what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, we're going to go over and I'm going to take you to another portion of the film. So as you can see, they're doing pretty well in promoting themselves. So now what we're going to do, we're not going to continue on with the party because pretty much the scenes from out here is not really relevant to the topic of discussion, but you got the idea of what the party's there to serve. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to this next portion of the film. And in this portion, let's go here. Okay, so this is an interesting scene here because his cover is almost blown by somebody who actually knows him. And what you're going to see is how they're going to weasel their way out of this situation before it turns into an ugly situation. And the wife, Demi Moore, is really going to she's really going to give the assist in making sure that their cover is not blown. So let me bring it back here and I'll press play again.
On safari in Kenya.
Yeah. It's this amazing outfit. Spalding and Kent tours, they do everything.
They've done all of our family trips.
Everything.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes. I mean, every time.
You should give them the contact.
Oh, I will.
I'm going to the ladies' room.
Okay. Yeah, you have your
Steve
phone?
Sorella. It is you. I knew that. I couldn't believe it. I just saw you from over there. How you doing? Where you been, man? I'm an old friend of Steve's. My name is Henry. Sorella? Where you been? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Excuse me, but I think you're sitting in my wife's seat.
Wife?
Yeah.
This guy was the biggest stud in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Excuse me. This is my seat.
Are you serious? Oh my goodness! You finally tamed the savage beast. Unbelievable. Come here.
Sorry.
I am so happy for you. Wow.
You know,
I'm an old friend of Steve's.
I wish that I knew you, but I think you've got mistaken with somebody else.
I think you've made a mistake.
Sir,
I don't think I did. Are you serious?
I'm not that guy.
What?
Could you please come with me, sir?
I don't
need it.
Walk this way.
What are you talking about? I don't get it. It's not cool, dude.
I am terribly, terribly sorry. Please enjoy your dinner.
That was odd.
That is
Yeah.
weird.
It's like the third time since we've been here that somebody's mistaken you for this Steve
Has it been 3 times?
Yes.
I
it
get
is.
mistaken for someone a lot, but it's usually Tiger Woods. Anyway.
You have some kind of secret life going on.
Baby, you bet I do.
Very odd.
The secret lives.
Okay, well, secret lives.
Cheers.
And just like that, weaseled his way and toast to Secret Lives. And you saw how everybody jumped on the bandwagon. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next scene here because, that's pretty much it. You know, he dodged a bullet and he comes home to talk to her about dodging that bullet while the daughter's having sex with a grown man. That's what she's doing right now. But we're going to go to 5115. And this is a very interesting scene as well. So just to let you know what's happening here, the director's meeting back up with them, giving them a fresh line of products to promote and advertise.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. As you can see, these are the products our clients are pushing
As you heard, for the pagan holiday called Christmas,
for the holidays.
which, by the way, Christmas is the highest grossing holiday as far as revenue throughout the United States. Second is Halloween. And when I learned that, I was like, wow, Halloween is the second highest grossing revenue. It just goes to show you how the United States is really into that wickedness. And then, of course, the third would be Thanksgiving, and then so on and so forth with the other holidays. But those are the top 3 as far as generating a very, very massive, significant amount of income. And one of the reasons why Thanksgiving is up there, even though it's one day, is because of Black Friday.
Up to you to make sure they're under every tree in town. Nice.
Well, I can't say that I'm hating this.
I'm glad that you like it.
You have excellent taste.
Is this for me?
No, for your girlfriend, Naomi, she'll be selling to her little counterculture friends without even knowing. And if she's going to be with you, she's going to need some style.
I look like Elton John.
Jim, Kate tells me you don't have a boyfriend yet, which is unusual for you, no? It would be nice if you could have a romantic interest by Christmas, huh?
Working on it.
This has been in the stores 10 days.
Rudy's Rum Punch. Ooh, 17% alcohol. Ow.
Not for you.
Bit lowbrow, don't you think?
It's up to you to change that. There's one other thing I almost forgot.
See, she said it's up to you to change that. So they got these little type of juice packs that's for adults. And, you know, Demi Moore is looking at it like, hey, this is kind of lowbrow for the type of community we're in. But she's like, you could change that because it's all about perception. If they give the perception that these little juice packs are cool, and because people do like them and want to be like them, they will start looking at the juice packs as cool. All right. So this next scene is going to be very interesting because they're about to award him a vehicle. Check this out.
Forgot. Steve, want to come outside?
Enjoy.
The all-new Audi R8.
Yeah.
It's for you. I thought you deserved a little bonus. Your numbers have shown tremendous improvement. Keep it up. This cell could make icon status. Go on. I'll bet you look great in it.
Whew. Hey, Mick, check it out. Get in. Something bothering you?
I don't know.
You know, if you want to talk about something, anything, you know, you can always just, you know, talk to your fake mother. Now you can talk to me.
This whole act, it gets to me.
Who's acting? I love this car.
It's not what I meant.
Just think of it this way. What we're doing is we're making a match between great products and the people that want them. It's a service.
And you see that scene is pivotal right there where he said, because coming from these types of industries myself, it's like you're always going to have people to make sense of what you're doing to make it sound like it's just okay. But deep down inside, a lot of the people that are in this industry, and pretty much any industry too, when they're doing things that are underhanded or considered to be unethical, they're always going to find a way to validate it to make it sound like, hey, we're actually doing the right thing. We're actually helping people. We're getting people to do this. We're getting people to do that. And just like he mentioned, we're like the conduit to get people to get to these products that they already want. But according to who? Because if they didn't exist and they wasn't around, would these people really want these products? And that's the science behind it. The science of the manipulation science, so to speak, is getting people to think that they want something that they really don't need. And that's what the lust for consumption here in Western culture, Western civilization, especially in the United Shenanigans of America, is all about. And many of us, all of us, okay, especially any of you that are listening to this broadcast, I'm pretty sure that many of us have things in our house that we don't need or use, but got it just because it was attractive at the time to get. And sometimes it's even bad with some of these hoarders. But now we're going to get a great lesson in envy and jealousy and that covetousness type of spirit that you're about to see right now.
Hey, Larry.
Wow. Looking good, Steve.
You too, player. I think you just ruined his day.
Absolutely. The sun said it. I think you just ruined his day. And that's exactly what he did. He ruined it something horrible. All right. So as you got to see, that's that jealousy. And he drove off probably pissed. He had his nice little red Audi that was pretty nice, drop top. But he saw that Steve got the Audi R8. So it's one notch higher, you know, and it's that level of competition, people. And here at the Network of Awareness, I always talk about how cooperation is always going to defeat the spirit of competition. The spirit of competition can never defeat the spirit of cooperation, because I truly believe that competition has a ceiling. Cooperation doesn't. Cooperation is eternal. Cooperation is really the way of the Most High. It's coming together, congregating, fellowship. That's cooperation. Competition is what you see a lot of strife within churches and camps, internally and externally. So now I'm going to move on to the next segment, and we're going to move to 5115 here, which is an interesting part of the movie, which I think we actually passed that already. Oh, I had that written down. Okay. So let's go to this part of the film, because now, remember, she told him that he can reach icon status. So that's like the most highest status. So now Demi Moore is really liking him now, because at first she was just like, you know, we're going to have to probably kick you out of this group. And now she's kind of sweating him because he's the one that's doing the best out of the whole entire unit. So let's take a look at what's going to happen now in this scene.
We should stay in tonight.
Okay, this doesn't make sense. It just keeps saying that all of our cards are unbalanced. I mean, you did make the payments, didn't you,
No,
Larry?
I'm sure it's just a mistake. I'll straighten it out.
Well, these cards are my foundation, Larry. I need them for the gala. I've got all the stuff to pay for. How am I supposed to do that? I've got the linens, the bartenders,
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Larry, you did not make the house payment last month. Why would you tell me that I don't need to worry? Seriously, you got to fix this today. Do you understand me?
Now, mind you, remember, they're not even having sex. The wife is all caught up in getting her own personal validation amongst her peers, amongst the company she works for to sell her products and become a sales associate, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the husband's working really hard, but now he's, you know, overstepping his means. Like he's overspending money that he doesn't have, running up his credit card bills, doesn't even have the money to pay for the house anymore because he's trying to keep up with the Joneses. And since he's been trying to keep up with the Joneses is the very reason as to why he's in this predicament now. And he can't stop because he's trying to really please his wife too, to get his wife to start having some affection for him. And this happens a lot in relationships out here. Look at that. No payments for 6 months for a flat screen TV. So now he wants to get a flat screen. Okay, so we're going to stop it there. And now what I'm going to do, brothers and sisters, is I am going to move on to the next scene here, which I believe is the final scene for this episode on the lust for consumption and validation. So we can sum it up with this last scene here, which is 1:14:03. And okay, so now they're going to be at a party that's being hosted by their neighbors. And watch what they're going to do as they walk in.
Well, a girl's gotta have her secrets, doesn't she?
Can I buy a vowel?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Ripple effect. Ripple.
Hello. Hi. Well, come on in here.
Ripple.
Look at that. Ripple.
Hi.
Martini Ripple.
See, now they're making a mockery and a joke of it, or really they're just they're just operating in the ego, they're basically relishing in all of their success and influence that they've had on the people, to where everything she has at the house, the neighbor, right, which is right here, as for those that can see this, she basically has all of the same catering products that they had at their party. That's why they're saying Ripple, 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 because everything they have that they promoted is now been bought for this party, and probably a bunch of other people's parties, down to the drinks, the food, the decorations, you name it, anything, the cars, the cell phones. I mean, this thing can, really go viral very quickly amongst the community. So now pay close attention to the conversation that's going to be had with Larry, which is the husband, the neighbor.
Thank you for coming to my Robustion Gala. Really, come in and sit down, relax, because I just want you all to enjoy the show. Now, is this you? Robustion Industries is proud to present their new product, Robustion Wow. Unisex.
Well, I'd love to really give this my full attention, but I'm going to go see Larry. Tell him I'm gay.
Contains all the mustaches
Larry,
of the Robustion
Steve,
line.
what up, yo? Steve, have a drink with me.
Oh, no.
Bottoms up.
Well, thank you.
All skin types. Concerned about the sun.
She's furious at me.
This moisturizing formula is proven.
She is beautiful, though, isn't she? Yeah.
I don't mean by it now. I mean later on tonight. There's a big battle.
I just wanted her to be happy.
Well, she is happy. Just look at her. You two have a great life.
You don't know about my life. You have everything.
Proven to retard.
And you heard what he said. You don't know about my life. You have everything. And that's the truth. So many couples, so many families that show themselves off on social media. You're seeing the best of times, or at least the illusion of it, but you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And if we were to know what's going on behind the scenes with a lot of people's lives, I guarantee you it's not what it's all cracked up to look like it's supposed to be. It's probably very dysfunctional, and there's a lot of skeletons in the closet. And like I heard this one lady say, we don't even have skeletons in our closet. We have entire graveyards. Okay, so let's continue.
The signs of photo aging.
Wait till she finds out they're going to take the house.
Well, don't be shy.
What? That's right. And you say foreclosure?
Yeah, but Larry, you're doing so well. You're buying all this stuff.
It's bigger than yours, isn't
All
it?
around.
Is that why you can't pay your bills?
Are you jealous?
And you see what he said? Can you hear what he said? He said, are you jealous? And that's really what he wants. He wants Steve, which is played by David Duchovny, to be jealous of him, as he's been jealous of Steve. Like he's been coveting everything he has because he feels like he's lacking in that. When in actuality, he's not. He was doing pretty well and didn't need to get all this excess stuff that he really didn't need to put on this image or to really compete with his neighbor to try to please his wife, which is really the problem here. It's not even just their marketing strategy, but the real problem is his wife. His wife's discontent and feels like she doesn't have enough because she has that lust for validation. Let's continue.
Is there any way that you can return some of this stuff to pay down your mortgage?
I said you're jealous of me. Huh? You can't handle not being the center of attention for one night. Is that it?
Now what I'd like you all to do.
Look, you don't understand.
Not tonight.
All my stuff, I don't pay for it.
Don't pay. Yeah, well, me neither. Not for 6 months, right?
Zero payments
You don't
for
understand.
6
That's
months.
not it.
Zero
You don't-
payments for
That's not
6
what I mean. You don't get it.
She's doing the thing. Supposed to be paying attention. You guys are so.
Oh, you know what? I just missed it, sweetie. Money, yeah.
Oh, I get it. It's her money? Your secret is safe with me, buddy. Nice work.
And socialize and have a wonderful time and just have wonderful memories of Robustion and of the sciences.
It's terrible. He's a great guy.
So we're going to stop it right there. And, that's where he gets a little dose of reality that morality starts to kick in, where he feels like, maybe what I'm doing here is not right. Now, that man, which is the neighbor, he winds up committing suicide, which they show that towards, not too long after this scene. But people, this has been a big problem in the United States for quite some time. And believe it or not, even though we're in a crisis of turmoil when it comes to inflation, the economy is pretty horrible right now. The people that are still consuming. This Black Friday was no different. This Christmas, this Halloween that just passed in 2022 is no different. This year of 2023, besides, anything that's going to be happening, people are still going to be consuming. People are still going to be lusting for validation. People are still going to be lusting for validation on social media. And they're going to be putting out some of the dumbest stuff you could possibly think of. People are still going to be into getting all these different extravagant type of cars. You're going to have people like Andrew Tate selling this, this lifestyle of prosperity. Because the prosperity doctrine, people, let me tell you something. The prosperity doctrine right now is huge. And what they're doing is they're mixing in that prosperity doctrine with the truth spiritually. So it's a bunch of controlled opposition that's going on right now with a lot of different influential people. And one of the biggest ones right now is this guy, Andrew Tate, which I won't go into. I'll do a show about him some other time. The show that I did with Brother Julian about false prophets was definitely about him and other people. But I'm going to do one specifically about him because he's got some major witchcraft going on with the image that he's portraying. But I hope that this episode gave you great substance. Go check out the movie if you haven't, The Joneses. It's actually on Hulu, so that's where I was playing it off of. And check it out. So, brothers and sisters, like I always say, when you live in the present, there's always an opportunity to start a new beginning. So be present in the Most High. Be present with the Messiah, with the example of what it means to be a righteous human being. And be present in that truth. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. Peace, love, and light. Blessings to you all, and barakatah and shalom.